You know what's crazy, bro? You know what I find crazy, bro? Look, listen, I'm telling you, bro, it's a slap in the face to everybody, okay? We've all been complaining about the pallets recently, and what do they drop in the middle of the whole thing, bro? Just to make you more mad? Pallets, son. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, they know what they're doing. They're not stupid.
Reduction systems for tunneling, camping, and slugging. So let's get into it.
Yes. All right. So as Eric so nicely put, we have a lot of PowerPoint to go through. So
that's crazy.
I apologize. Yeah. I'm going to try to make it as exciting as it can be. Yeah. So the first question people might ask is, why are we doing these things? Why are we looking at these strategies that people employ to play the game?
Wait. You hear what he just said, right? You heard what he just said? Strategies. What the hell are we doing, bro?
Strategies that people employ to play the game. It's quite simple. Face camping, tunneling, and slugging were in the top 5 reasons for people uninstalling.
Wait. Why are they employing these strategies? And it's simple, because people are uninstalling the game. The rage quitters. My thing. Check this out. My thing is how do you know it's because of that? How do you know? Check this out. How do you know that? You know how many games where you just spawn in and then the survivors just quit because they don't like the killer? How do you know that that's what it is? How do you know it's a major factor in players uninstalling the game? What about the killer side? Why the killers are gonna uninstall because they're face camping, slugging, and tunneling? This is already a survivor-sided slide, bro. You're not even mentioning the killers. To ensure the longevity of Dead by Daylight, we must address these problems and teach players how to counter them effectively. Well, that's your own damn problem. Put a tutorial. If you face a killer that's slugging, throw on these perks. You face a killer you think he's gonna slug, throw on this perk. You can put that as a tutorial at the beginning of the match instead of making everybody figure it out for themselves. Like I said, when I first started playing DBD and I realized the strategies that I needed to use to win, I didn't even know what tunneling, camping, and slugging were in the game. I didn't know the words, right? The slang being used in the game. I just knew that's what it took to win. And then I come and it's like, you know, a valid strategy that I would use to win early in Dead by Daylight, of course, was frowned upon. Now, the problem is these guys talk about it and they call it a strategy, and then they say it's bad. However, as a killer, unless you're an S tier killer, what other strategies do you have? I'll sit back, and if anybody wants to put that in the comments, what other strategies? I know someone will have a comment like get better. There's not enough game time to get better, bro. There are games, and all of you have done this. There are games where you have no problem in chase and the gens still fly. There's nothing you do. Joel with the $10 says, telling a slugging are just scapegoats for all the other major issues in this game at this point. That's what I feel like. You're right. Like, they put it on slugging and telling instead of the bugs, all the bad stuff that's in the game. That's actually, you get what I'm saying. Another question you have to ask is, why are the killers using strategies? Those strategies. I'll give you 2 reasons. I'll give you 3 reasons. The devs don't play their damn game at the high level. Gens fly too quick, especially with perks and everything that stacks, right? And the third one is there is no other strategy. Get what I'm saying, bro? If they're okay, so look, what I'm trying to tell you guys is they're changing the game for the new players, man, because they don't want people that uninstall the game, right? It's based around the rage quitters and the new players, man. That's what it's based off of right now. They don't give a damn about the veterans or the people that use these strategies to have to win games. Why are we using the strategies? The Violator with the $9.99 says the camping changes are horrible. I can live with the tunneling stuff, but it's all completely unnecessary. I know. 20 meters is insane.
As developers and myself as a player, we want the game to last long. So to make sure that that happens and that the game can keep going as long as it can, we have to address the issues that people have or the players have with within the game.
The survivors, man. All right, don't say the players. Just say the survivors, bro. Because the killers, it's like you guys aren't even paying attention. You guys aren't paying attention, bro.
So face camping, slugging, and tunneling are 3 of the issues that we have to address.
The 3 of the only strategies we have. How disconnected can you be? The Violet with the $49.99 says for the king. Let's go, man. $50. Let's go. $60 if you add the other one. Violator in the house, baby.
I have the
You got the clicker.
Yeah, I forgot. That's so cool. Okay, so let me start by saying or explaining what face camping is. So usually it's described as the killer staying in very close proximity to a hooked survivor. And over here you can see there's a nice little picture where it shows you what face camping is, what proxy camping is, and what patrolling is. So when you're very close to the hook, that's usually face camping. When you're like mid length away from the hook, that's proxy camping. You're just making sure the survivor's still there. And when you're a little bit further, you're patrolling. You're looking from afar, seeing no one's going for the save. Okay, so that's basically what the different steps or stages of camping are. Because this is a PowerPoint presentation, I figured
It's not camping, man. It's holding positions.
it would be very nice to have some key data points. So I went and looked at the data because I think sharing data is always useful. So overall, we have seen that since the start of 2025, face camping, so the closest proximity to the hook, has not really had any major shift. It's been pretty steady, which is kind of a weird thing to talk about, but that's the data. Patrolling, which is when you're further than 20 meters away, has increased a little bit. So killers tend to stay closer to the hook by about 3 seconds as opposed to, before 2025. And surprisingly, which is something that I think is fascinating because it could imply that survivors are learning to not rush unhooks, which is great. Survivors take more time to go for rescues.
The reason that is because they add the bar on the damn HUD where you can see how much time's left before you can save someone. That's pretty much all it is. It's the visual feedback from the HUD, giving the survivors a chance to finish the gen. Like I tell you guys in my gameplays, finish the gen. If you're like 80%, someone's on a hook, let them hang there. An extra 7 seconds, right? That's what that is. The fact that he just doesn't say it speaks volumes, bro. Like, since we added the HUD and the marker, I'm sure that's what people are using from the HUD to wait on hooks, right? To save off hooks. But they don't say that. And I'm saying it, I'm just seeing it, right?
So you will leave your teammate on the hook for a little longer because you're going to finish that gen.
Right.
And that's
Come on,
usually
man.
a good thing. So yeah, good job. And then the last thing I wanted to talk about for key data points is when the resolve bar fills, so that's the bar that fills up when you're being camped, there's a 10% increase in escape rates. So the face camping mechanic or reduction that we implemented, I think it was last year, 2 years ago, actually has an impact on how the matches go. So here is a breakdown by MMR. So you can see that low MMR killers tend to face camp more than mid or high MMR killers. And
because high MMR killers, they're not face camping, bro. They're holding positions, proximity. Like I tell you guys, okay? Let's say I down a survivor. And I've noticed that as I surveyed the map, he was the only one in the gen that is 75% complete. And I down him, and then I put him in a hook about 15 meters away. Now, as the time that I'm downed him, I was like, there's no way said survivor was able to complete the gen that fast. That means there's someone else helping him, right? Because you already know as a smarter killer, and you've played the game for years, you already know it takes 2 to get the gen that far, like early in the game. So what do? You hook, and then you watch that area because you know the survivor's there. And you know that if you could take that gen down, it helps you and puts the time on your side. But they don't see it that way. They say you're just a camper.
in terms of maps,
Just don't get it, bro.
Raccoon City Police Department West Wing is the highest percentage for face camping, and Wretched Shop is the lowest. And I put some stars beside those.
The reason for that is because the congested area, the middle hook on that map, bro. Golly, bro. Okay, check this out. The middle hook in RPD stays the same no matter what variant of RPD that you're running on. So the gens that are close to the hook and you're chasing people around in that area, they use the pallet that's right there, they use the pallet up the stairs. You are in so much close proximity to the person hooked in another chase that it's going to look like face camping on your statistics, right? The numbers don't see the game. They just see the numbers. Oh, they're hanging around the hook. Something's going on here in RPD. That's exactly what it is, man, okay? Even if you go put them in the corner hook, like if you go into the west wing, the chases happen around there. I mean, you're spending a lot of time in those areas while someone's hooked because it's so compressed. How do they not see this? It's the middle hook of RPD that's telling you, bro, I don't even care about the rest of your data. If you can't, this is why we say they don't play their own game. You know what I mean? Because they would know this just from experience.
Because while that's what the data says, we would have to do a deep dive as to like why that is. Because we could argue that
I just told you.
RCPD is very narrow. It's got, not a lot of room. So you spend more time near hooks
See?
without really wanting to. But I think it's interesting to share that these are the highest and lowest. As to why, I don't know. Maybe you can tell me.
Wretched Shop, I would have to say, if you're spending less times around the hook in Wretched Shop, is because of the location of the main building. Okay, so if we look at the main building here, right, we know that the Killer Shack is behind us, right? If we're looking at the main building, we got Killer Shack behind us. If you down someone on the other side of that main building and hook them, there's no point staying here. All the action is behind the main building. Does that make sense? This whole back area is like, in all my times of playing this map, I don't even recall like wanting to stay back there or for anything as far as that part of the map. It's usually toward Killer Shack and to the left of Killer Shack, right? Killer Shack to the left, sometimes the right, but it has a small tile into like whether there's the bus or the van or whatever on the right. But most of the time, this whole back part of the map, I'm not messing around the back part of the map, bro. Like, so if I hook somebody back there, I just leave them. Like, there's no point.
So what are the goals with the face camping
My goodness.
updates in the upcoming PTB? The first is to bridge the gap between solo players and Survivor with Friends, and it'll all make sense in just a second. And the other one is to make the anti-face camp mechanic fair for both sides. So you may, as Killer, have experienced the...
How do you make it fair for both sides, bro? If someone's face camping, they're literally doing it like the way Bubba used to do it. They're staring at you and wishing you would jump off the hook, bro. How do you make it fair?
You're filling up too soon after you've hooked someone, or you've hooked someone in the basement and you hook another survivor, and the first one's filling up their meter. There's a lot of scenarios where it could feel a little oppressive. So what's next? In the upcoming PTB, you'll be able to test and hopefully give us a lot of feedback. The resolve bar, when being camped, will be visible to all survivors. So that means...
So pretty much what he's saying, well, let's just see. Hold up. I'll tell you guys what this means.
I'm being camped and Diego is doing a gen on the other side of the map, he will see the resolve bar filling on the HUD. So he'll be able to tell, one, that I'm being camped, but also what the progress is on that camp meter. The next thing is the meter will fill up faster based on how long the killer stays within proximity of the hook. So this is really cool because first we've also decreased the rate at which it fills baseline. So the killer's not penalized for walking by or anything like that. It's really just if you spend a lot of time near the hook, it will fill up much faster, up to 200% of the life value, which is 10 charges per second. And then the last thing we did as well is we increased the range of the anti-face camp radius to 20 meters. So it's a little...
I don't think you guys understand how detrimental this is right here, okay? And some of you haven't even caught on to it yet, man, but Daddy Wolf's going to be here to explain it to you guys. This in itself, it seems like a good deal on its face, right? On its face. Correct? Okay? This looks cool, right? How many of you agree, man? That is pretty cool as far as that sounds fair. But in reality, it's not. Now, why would I say that? 20 meters, okay? The survivors now have the info, which means base kit kindred. Now, if the other survivors see that the bar's filling up, they could just stay on the gens. They know where the killer's at. That's free information for all the survivors on the damn game. If the bar stops, then you know the killer's leaving. You pre-run, get into a locker, or hide behind a bush. If you see the bar going up again, guess what? Now you go back to your gen. Base kit Kindred. What does it mean for the killers that want to try to set up traps? If you're playing a trapper, they get a hook, the bar's filling up, you see how fast it's going. You know, if you get good at Survivor, you'll be able to see or start to time killer distance. Meaning a trapper that wants to kick a gen, break a pallet, set traps, all within that range around that area, is telling all the other survivors he's there, crank the gens. Just get rid of Crimson right when we can. Get what I'm saying? Do you see its effect on the game now? Not to mention, you have a crazy amount of pallets that they're not going to take away. It's already changed the escape rates of survivors up to 60%. It's already a 60-40 game for killer. They literally inverted the whole thing. You get what I'm saying?
Bit more.
My goodness. How did they not see that was going to be the effect?
20 meters with a hatchet pulled out, or other scenarios. Oh, right. And there's one last thing I forgot. So initially, when you hook a survivor, there's a 7-second grace period before the meter starts filling up. But that would only apply to when you hook that specific survivor. So in my example, where you hook a second survivor in the basement, that first survivor that you hooked will still be filling up that meter.
Why?
Now, with the upcoming PTB, if you hook a second survivor, it will put the grace period on all hooked survivors within the area.
Okay, that's better.
So you won't be penalized for doing that.
But still.
And here we have a beautiful video of Meg watching Claudette's demise. And I zoomed in on... Oh, maybe we want... Yeah, thank you.
All right, look.
I zoomed in on...
Look, check this out. They're going to show you the new feature, right? It pops up under here. But I want you to understand, let's look at it from a different scenario. Let's say Meg doesn't see it, but Meg's on a generator, okay? Now let's think in our minds that Meg's on a generator across the map, right? Bro, how many counts does this guy have, bro? Like, this guy's got like... Just keep getting rid of him, bro. The guy's got like 10 accounts, bro. It reminds me of Harold. You guys remember Harold? Anyway, check this out. Imagine, okay? She's on a gen.
The HUD so that we can see the resolve bar filling. And so that's the first thing you'll notice, is that it's visible. But the second thing you'll notice is that as the trapper just sticks around there, it'll fill up faster and faster, which is what we were saying. Well, what I was just saying about it filling up faster based on how long you stayed near the hook. And hopefully, with the visible resolve bar.
Oh, look, the killer's still there. I'll just stay over here.
Again, hopefully, teammates make more informed decisions about the state of the game, right? Like in terms of macro, what's going on, where you should be, what you should be doing in the moment to moment. I think it'll be really helpful, but you know, again, you guys can test it out and get feedback on it.
I'll give you the feedback now. Okay, it's too much information for survivors, bro. I'm gonna give you the feedback now. All right.
Because that's the whole point.
It's going to be, look, it's going to be turned off in comp. All these changes will never be used in comp because they know what it takes to have to win the game. The game is already so survivor-sided in comp that they have to count hook stages instead of kills, okay? Because they know that the damn game is survivor-sided when you're good at the game. If you don't have the skill, it looks like the game's difficult because you didn't practice, okay? That's your fault. But the thing is they're catering around to that lazy group of people, bro, okay? They don't want to put the work in, man.
So you guys can test it and give us some insight as to how it feels and what it's like.
So that's base kit Kindred.
Thank you. That's the point I was going to say. You'll probably get sick of me saying it. We really are testing these features in the next PTB. Don't like start being really upset that this is already in the game and I hate it. What we want to do is test it. We want to...
If y'all, I don't want to hear anything this guy says, because if you heard the first time when we all made a fuss about it, you would have scrapped it. But you're still trying to bring it back in. You deserve all the smoke, bro. I'm sorry. You deserve all the damn smoke because you knew no one wanted this the first time, and you're still trying to bring it back in the game. Now you're asking everybody to be nice about it. No.
Get your feedback
No.
with hands-on.
It's all
just
bad
based
ideas.
on the information. Try it out. Let us know
No. Don't need to try it out.
how it feels if you're a killer, how it feels
Matter
if
of
you're a
fact,
survivor.
with your guys' track record, okay, no. Bro, I don't trust these guys at all.
And then we'll go from there and see, what we're going to do. And that's the case for each of the things that we're going to present today.
Yes.
Right.
And everything else as
Oh, by the way, guys, don't just judge it. Go in there and play it. Never mind the bugs we're ignoring in the game. But don't get mad. What the hell's wrong with you guys? You guys don't be like that, guys. We're still gonna ignore the bugs though. Hope you like it.
well. Right. So let's move on to the next one. What is tunneling?
Jesus.
Well, tunneling is usually described when you go for the same survivor until they are out of the match.
Right. Okay, remember what he says. Remember what he says, bro. Okay, remember what he says here. This is how dumb it is, bro.
When you go for the same survivor until they are out of the match.
Now, back when I faced a streamer, man, okay, and they were talking about tunneling. In my mind, tunneling or pursuing kills, according to comp DBD, was you hook a survivor, then you keep chasing that survivor until they're out of the game. That's pretty much tunneling in a nutshell. No. That streamer said there's different types of tunneling. It's not just that. And lo and behold, I thought that was a crazy take until I watched this. These damn devs have the same crazy take as the crazy streamer, bro. Listen.
Here we can see Nia with zebra pants being targeted by the skull merchant. Maybe that expresses my feelings towards zebra pants. Maybe it doesn't. That's for you to figure out. So, key data points. Throughout 2025, we have seen a slight drop in tunneling.
This is a lie. This number right here, these numbers are fake, bro. But Wolf, they have the data. You don't. You're just saying no. No. 44%, 40% of match. That means 4 out of 10 games, you're going to be tunneled. According to what they said at the beginning, what tunneling was, one of your teammates, 4 out of 10 games, was going to be targeted over and over and over and over and over. No. But this is where look. Just listen. You'll see the flaw.
So these percentages are the average percentage of tunneling happening in matches.
Average percentage of tunneling. Remember what he said. Targeting the same survivor over and over, right?
So 44% of matches had tunneling occurrences in January. And when I say tunneling...
Listen, this is the part where it all comes to fruition, bro.
Or had tunneling occurrences in January. And when I say tunneling, there's different ways that we're analyzing it. The first one is when you go for one survivor and only one survivor from the start of the match.
That's the only tunneling. That's the only definition of tunneling right there. That is it. You don't get to change the way. No, that's the only tunneling there is, bro. That's it. Let's rewind it because I need you guys to understand just how stupid this is. That's the only tunneling.
Or had tunneling occurrences in January. And when I say tunneling, there's different ways that we're analyzing it. The first one is when you go for one survivor and only one survivor from the start of the match.
That's the only tunneling.
There's also when you go for consecutive hooks, not necessarily the first survivor that you find, but you just get the second survivor out of the match quickly.
Have you watched my members only video, bro? With the streamer that I faced? That streamer, that entitled popular survivor main, bro, has the same ideology as this guy. Why? How did y'all move the goalposts on what tunneling was? They consider ricocheting survivors as tunneling. If you go watch the members only video with the popular streamer that they have pull in the community, watch the gameplay when I use Myers and look what he accuses me of, and then watch the gameplay. This is what I'm talking about. This number right here, they're trying to finesse everybody, right? It's a finesse move because they said people are uninstalling because of it. Now they're telling you it happens in 40% of matches. And then they're changing the definition of what tunneling is. That is not, ricocheting is not tunneling, bro. Tunneling is facing on one survivor. There's only 4 survivors in the game. And if I ricochet one survivor to them, that's not tunneling, bro.
And then there's the last one, which I'm completely blanking out on. But this is the overall of all.
No, what's the last one? What's the last one that you're blanking? No, because you know it's stupid. You know it's stupid. The last one he was going to talk about, if you hook someone and then you go down 2 more people and hook them and the first one wasn't rescued and then the first one gets pulled off and then you go back and chase the first one. That's what he didn't want to say that, but that's what he's talking about. That's the third thing that they try to say is tunneling. You hook one, you down the next one, hook that one, down the next one, hook that one, and then they come save the first one, which is number 4, and then you chase the injured one off the hook, and then you down them again. That's tunneling. And this is what's playing into their stats, and this is the Kool-Aid they're feeding everybody, and everybody's like, oh my God, 40%, I knew it. I knew killers were like that. I knew that's what's happening. I knew it. No. This is a lie, bro. Behavior is blatantly lying to the people. This is a blatant lie. This is a lie. All this is a lie. Tell me I'm wrong. You know what, matter of fact, I'll give it a little break, okay? For someone to come and correct me, bro, or am I right? There is only one type of tunneling in this game. You don't get to move the goalposts. There's only 4 survivors. Hey, well, I've been watching you since 2020. My life was an absolute mess. A lot of bad things happened, but you kept me alive, kept me away from dark thoughts and suicide. Let's go, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. It's for you. He's stuttering because he knows that this makes no sense. Violator with the 499 is telling us when the killer kills, apparently. For real, bro. Let's go, man. Oh, man. Damn, son. Crazy times. Crazy times. So now that I know that this is all a lie and the way this guy's staking in the game, it correlates to the streamer I face in the members area, right? Now, I'm not saying that to sell it, okay? I'm not saying, hey, you'll go watch my members video. No. I put it in the members area so you guys can see it. You'll be able to see just how they see the game. Doesn't matter what you do, inconvenience is camping, slugging, and telling to them, wait till you hear how they address slugging. Bro.
Get the second survivor out of the match quickly. And then there's the last one, which I'm completely blanking out on.
No.
But this is the
last one is what I'm talking about.
Scenarios that we analyzed with the data.
My
And
goodness.
as you can see, this morning, when I got the last bit of data, it's down to 40%.
Now, down to 40%. No. It's actually 4%, bro. Scott Junn did the video, and we're going to do that too, okay? We're going to play survivor games, and we're going to see just how many hard tunnels we see, okay? Just straight up tunneling. We're not going to count ricochets. We're not going to count 3 of us being hooked. The killer goes back because the other one got taken off hook and chases the injured one. That's just strategic planning by the killer to take the one hit down. Why would I make the game tougher on myself when I could just go for the one that's injured and take the chance of a decisive strike? This whole thing is pissing me off, bro.
Which is a 4% drop. It's pretty important. And then if we look at the breakdown by MMR, we see the opposite of what we saw with camping. So low MMR killers tend to tunnel less than high MMR killers, which is also interesting.
What do you mean it's interesting? Don't you get it? Low MMR killers haven't figured out the strategy yet that they need to win. High MMR killers know that high MMR survivors can loop them longer. High MMR survivors are more synergized. Typically in high MMR, it's all SWS. It's no longer solo queue. They know how to stick to gens and run you. We have to find roads and pathways to cut the game into our favor. How do you guys not know this? This is how I know they don't play the game. They don't play it at the high level. The reason killers in high MMR have to tunnels, there's just not enough game time, bro. And you still have to do it with high mobility killers. You imagine a ghost face, bro? Can't do nothing? And now you added more pallets? He's pretty much obsolete. And now you're going to add all this extra stuff for the survivors? Just so they don't rage quit? You're going to kill it for everybody else for the rage quitters, bro. That's what you're going to do? People that uninstall the game, we're going to quit anyway because they don't want to practice. They don't want to get better. The ones that actually do want to get better are now going to be penalized for it. You have taken away the idea of trying to be and practice and work to be something great at this game. You took that away because you're no longer going to be able to do that now. Now, if you do get better at the game, guess what? You're going to be penalized because high MMR survivors are going to cook you. Now they're going to have all this help. They already have enough help. Like I said, the survivor side is the OP side. If you look at comp DBD, you pretty much see it already. They count hook stages because they know it's survivor sided. Because they know SWFs in the comp scene know all the killer strategies, which is only 3, and all they got to do is cut those strategies out. And now the killer can't do nothing but just try to go for hooks because it's survivor sided. How do people not see it? Why am I the only one to see it? And none of the top creators are saying anything about it. Ezra with the $1. Let's go, man. Let me get $1 on pump 3. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about.
And, we could extrapolate as to why. One hypothesis is that high MMR survivors are just more efficient. So therefore,
Right.
tunneling feels like the most
Don't forget to bring up the gen times, gen speeds.
efficient way.
Don't forget stacking commodious with brand new parts. Don't forget that part, buddy. Make sure you include it.
to, combat their efficiency. But that's another thing that you guys can, theory craft on. And
Theory craft? What the hell did he just say?
are just more efficient. So therefore, tunneling feels like the most efficient way to, combat their efficiency. But that's another thing that you guys can, theory craft on and help us understand.
What do you mean? Help us understand.
Extrapolate as to why. One hypothesis is that high MMR survivors are just more efficient. So therefore,
One hypothesis? You don't know this? It's a theory, a hype. You don't know this? He doesn't know this? Are they kidding me? These guys have never been in a high level game. They have never been at the top, bro. They don't know. They have no idea what they're talking about, bro. He hypothesis and theorize over why this is happening. Aren't you guys with the data that just said 40% tunneling because that's what the numbers say? Why is it when it's the killer side? Oh, it's a theory. It's a hypothesis. We don't know what's going on. We find that interesting. Maybe you guys can help us out. But on the survivor side, yeah, that's tunneling. They're all tunneling. They're all doing it. There's ricocheting. They're doing all this. They're slugging at 30 seconds. They're doing this. They're doing this. But the killer side, we don't know why killers are doing it. My God, can somebody help us? But when it comes to survivor, yeah, 30% here, 3 seconds here, 4. But with the killer side, we don't know what's going on. What's going on? Are they stupid?
feels like the most efficient way to, combat their efficiency. But that's another thing that you guys can, theory craft on and help us understand. And then in terms of maps, the treatment theater has the highest percentage of tunneling.
Reason the theater has highest percentage of tunneling is no one wants to walk across the whole damn map, bro, behind walls and through rooms, bro. Okay, no one's going to want to do that, okay? I'm going to move the whole damn game into one section and we're going to all party there, okay? We're not going across all of theories. I'm telling you right now, if you're a ghost face and you decide to be that guy, right, to do that, you're going to lose, bro, okay? That's why it's Leary's. That's why Leary's is the most, okay?
And Gas Heaven has the lowest.
And the reason Gas Haven has the lowest, man, is because it's all open. You have a hill in the center of the map. You get on it, you look around, and you can see what's going on, man. There's a lot of good line of sight. If you don't see nobody, chances are they're in the gen in this right here. You know what I mean? This little small main building. And no one wants to be in the main building. I will let that gen go so I don't have to be in there, bro. Okay? You can have the gen in there, bro. I don't care about this building. But I'll be in it if I have to. But what I'm trying to tell you is this map has the best line of sight in all directions. It's got the best line of sight in all directions. All directions. Leary's, you can't see nothing past 4 feet, son. Now I gotta go in there. I gotta go in there with a belt, bro. I told you guys, man. Disciplinary actions.
Same thing as with camping. Why we would have to do a deep dive and try to like understand exactly why this is the case.
Why?
But I thought it was interesting that treatment theater. I definitely didn't expect that one to be.
I did. You know who's gonna be next and who's gonna overtake that one? Hawkins. You guys are dumb, bro.
But it is. And then Gas Heaven. I mean, the map is pretty strong for survivors. So.
Yeah, but you still have a clear line of sight, son. Okay, you have clear line of sight on top of this hill. If the hill's there, obviously. There's a hill that pops up on Gas Haven sometimes and you can see everything. But for the most part, bro, it's still, you can see from this side of on the opposite side of the map, you can see all the way to the other side of the map, bro. And if you see survivors or whatever, I don't know, man.
You know, maybe it has something to do with that. But again, if you guys want to, theory craft.
More theory for the killer. Cool. More theories for the killer.
Happen. So
we know exactly what happens to the survivor side with statistical data and analysis. But when it comes to the killer, we find it interesting. Maybe you guys can theorize on it.
Goals with tunneling. We want to ensure that every player's time is respected.
Just say survivors, bro.
And we also want to make sure that when you queue up, it means that you get to play the match. I'm sure that our survivor players have already had this happen to them where they go into a match and they're out within like the first 2 minutes.
Because they suck, bro, okay? Because they suck. That's pretty much what it is, man. Get better at the game. Besides, aren't you guys that have the protective MMR brackets help them, bro? Huh? Maybe you can even put a tutorial. Wait, you know what you should do? You should add a custom game mode so they can practice. Oh, wait. They have a custom game mode to practice. They could learn the maps. They could learn how to chain loops. They could learn how to check spot, sit in corners. There's a whole bunch of gang of YouTube videos. You got Mr. Potato Guy, bro, that does the breakdowns for Survivor. He's on YouTube. He shows you how to run some stuff, man. There's all kinds of resources out there. And instead, you want to go in there and gut your own game for the sake of Lil Timmy not wanting to do none of that. Pretty much, bro.
And it never really feels nice because sometimes you queue up for a little bit longer than that, sometimes even longer based on,
And the queue times are whose fault? It's your fault. Queue times are your fault.
What kind of game modes are on. But the point is, when you queue up, we would like you to be able to play the game and, just have fun.
Okay, so put them, you know what you should do, bro? You know what they should do? Listen to me. You know how they want to add killer bots, man? Right? They want to try to, people say they're going to turn it into where it's just killer bots. They should, bro. They should put a bracket that if you get outed, you get thrown into a killer bot lobby, bro. They should just have a killer bot acting like he's chasing you, bro, and you think you're cool, right? You're bolting and dropping power. The killer bot's acting like he's chasing you. He's like, da 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 da, I'm chasing somebody. You know what I mean? Do something like that, bro. So you can feel, because we all know it's about the feelings and emotions. You can feel better about yourself, man. All right? Because the hand-holding, something wrong with the hand-holding, bro.
Just the most important part. And we also want to ensure that player agency is retained. And I'll expand on that a little bit, and I think it's the next slide or the one after that. But we want to ensure that player agency is retained, and we want to put the onus on the survivor. So
you want to put the onus on the survivor, bro? You want to put the onus on the survivor? Then make them practice, bro. Tell them to practice. We want to put what you're doing is you're putting the onus on the killer. Having to be handicapped to allow the survivor to pretend like, you know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Replace the O with the A? Nah, man, come on, guys.
So the key learnings from the PTB. The first one is that the players found the proposed solution too intrusive, and to refresh everyone's memory, on the PTB, the last PTB that we had the unhook protections for survivors. We had the killer penalties if you did tunnel. We had the killer bonuses. And all of these things together felt like it was a little too much, which is...
Don't forget the one where you didn't know if they were unhooked or not. Don't forget that part, bro. Okay, don't forget that.
A very fair point. And I think that the last PTB gave us some really good insight as to what worked and what didn't. So I want to say thank you for all the feedback that you guys gave, because it really helped us. It helped inform our next steps for this.
There should have been a next step, bro. It should have been scrapped. You should have been taking it away. You should have listened to Daddy Wolf, man. I gave you guys the blueprint. I gave you the idea, bro. You chose to ignore it, man. I gave you the idea. I gave you the game fixing idea that didn't require all these systems. It was just one simple system. And now look at you guys, man. Now look at you guys, bro. Kaleidoscope with the $50 dono says, bro, got you live again. Just put in a comment on an old vid for a short sitting Dwight to the wall. I saw it. I'm going to make it. The thing is, when I make those shorts, they automatically get demonetized and I have to request a manual review. So, but I am seeing those, Kaleidoscope. I saw that one. I got you. I got you on one of the shorts coming up.
Feature. The second point is what I was just saying from the previous slide, is that players want to retain their agency. They want to be able to make those decisions. They want to be able to make the call. They want to be able to play the game the way they want without being told you can't do that or you can't do this, which, again, is a very, very fair point. And then to build up on that, a lot of players felt that the solution in the previous BTB held their hand too much.
You guys are hand-holding survivors, bro. Too much. We're going to hold your hands, just not too much. I love it, man. How disconnected. These guys don't even care that they're telling you that they care about the survivor side more, bro.
You know, you got a unique hook, so now you get like a gen kick bonus, or you got the aura reveal. And then I think the way that it was described, which I thought was a really good way to describe it, was that it felt very, very cookie cutter. There was one right way to play the game, and if you didn't do it, then you were kind of like shooting yourself in the foot. Which is
because check this out, bro. Okay, and I always use the Ghostface reference because he's like the best killer to use these. If you hook someone, and then you get that haste, but you got to kick a gen. What good is that, bro? What good is barbecue on Ghostface, bro? Who still has to kick a gen and then get his 10% haste for 10 seconds or 15 to get to the other side of the map, bro? What is that gonna do for Ghostface, bro? Ghostface, even with that system, bro, it did nothing for him, bro. 15% haste for 15 or whatever, 10% for 15 seconds. What was that gonna do for that guy? There's nothing it was gonna do for that killer. It's literally nothing.
It's not super cool. So what's next?
Can I just say before you say what?
Yes.
Oh, here we go with this damn guy, bro. Talking about, remember, guys, it's just testing.
Watching chat hang on every bullet, reacting to each bullet before you get to the next one is great. It's great.
So it's positive.
People
good
are
stuff.
locked in and they have lots of thoughts before they know what you're going to do.
Great.
Survivors are locked in.
Great. I'm glad that the PowerPoint is working.
Every word.
So what's next? The first one is that survivors will get their unhook protections. And I'm going to go into more detail what each of these means. This is just like a high level of what is next. The killer will get some bonuses. And
Killer will get some. There are no more killer penalties. Okay.
More killer penalties, which I think was the...
Wait, what were the killer penalties, bro? What were the penalties of the last one? I can't, like my head's racing with all the stupidity I've watched so far, bro. What were the killer penalties? Kaleidoscope with another 5 says, bro, cat guy looks like a scared Dwight with a hat. Nah, for real. Like not being... Oh, you couldn't hook the same survivor twice? Oh, that's right. Bro, I forgot about that. The gens, bro. Holy crap, that just to think that was actually a thing in the PTB, bro. That's right, man. I forgot. See what I'm saying? Good thing I have you guys here to remind me. The gens, bro. You couldn't regress gens no more. Nah, there's still look. Okay, look. Let me just explain to you guys what I see here.
Most polarizing topic in the previous
My
PTB is
goodness.
the penalties. So there's no more penalties. We're good? Okay.
We're good,
I thought there was something else. Okay.
I'll jump in if I need to, but you're
All
doing
right.
great.
Good. So unhook protections. Most of it is the same, but there are some differences with what was on the last PTB. So you still get 10% haste. You still get the endurance status effect, which means that if you get hit, you'll go into deep wound instead of going down. There's the new status effect elusive, which means that you cannot be revealed. You will leave no pools of blood, no scratch marks, and you make no grunts of pain. One thing that we added as well is that you will make no sounds, so you won't be coughing or puking or stuff like that, because
Y'all want to know what the counter to this is, bro? If you decide, like, if you want to ricochet survivors, bro, and what I mean by ricocheting is, let's say you down a survivor, okay, and then you down another, right? And you hook that one. If the first one that you want to get out of the game gets unhooked, bro, and you have alien instinct, there's nothing they can do. If you have a high mobility killer like Blight, Vecna, those guys, you'll be able to see the injured survivor. You'll be able to see him, bro, with alien instinct. Now, I hope they don't see that and they don't counter, but alien instinct is going to do numbers, bro. You pair that with like sloppy butcher. You get what I'm saying, bro? Alien instinct's the stocks to alien instinct are gonna go up, bro. Okay. You could still find these survivors, bro, hiding. With lethal pursuer, alien instinct, maybe surge, and I would go as far as to say sloppy butcher or something, anything that'll slow down healing to where they'll stay injured longer to give you a better shot, a better chance. And then they're oblivious to you coming. You get what I'm trying to tell you? Alien instinct not only shows you the injured aura of the person injured, but it also makes them oblivious, like they don't know you're coming, bro. Think about it.
some killers had very clever ways of bypassing the system in the previous PTB. You still do not accumulate AFK points, so AFK crows will not come into play if you are under the unhook protections. You will still see the killer's aura within 32 meters. And these are still lost when performing a conspicuous action or when being healed a full health state.
Did they say how long this is going to last right here? How long does this last, bro, where they can see us? Because that's going to be huge for SWFs. Huge, man. That's going to be huge, man. Like, they'll be able to just call you out. How long does this last? Does anybody know? 30 seconds? Yeah, nah, it's GG's.
I think it's also important to remind people that when it's in endgame, these bonuses are mostly turned off. The only ones that are on are the 10% haste and endurance that are granted for 10 seconds, which
Why?
is
No.
currently on live.
No. Why? In game, all rules, everything's out the door, bro. Why are they still getting help in the end game, man? Why are we still giving them help in the end game, man? Why do you want to penalize killers, man? What are y'all doing, man? Like, what?
So here we have a video again. Meg is the star of the show. She gets unhooked, and I zoomed in on the status effects. You can see there's the endurance, there's the haste, and there's elusive.
And there's the communications. He's over here with me. He's behind the rock on Gen 3, however they call it out.
You see the killer's aura.
Right.
And the survivor basically has a lot of tools to avoid the killer. This specific instance is a bot killer, so it's too smart. I can't outplay it. But what you just saw as well is, I'm going to play it again, just because I was talking about... Oh, can I go back? Okay.
PowerPoint can do that.
If this goes live, okay, listen, I hate to sound like this guy, bro. Okay, I hate to sound like this guy. But if this goes live, I don't even want to watch a video of so-and-so looping a killer and y'all or anyone trying to say that this guy is cracked. Because now I don't know who to believe because all the help. There's so much help that I don't even want to watch survivors play games, man. You have too much help, man. I don't even care who loops what and who loops where. Doesn't matter. There's too much hand holding. The thing that's gonna do it for me is a killer that can win with a low tier killer and can find ways to win. That's gonna be the tough one. I don't even watch people that play Blight. I want to see a killer man that can do it with the killers that, I won't watch a nurse. I won't watch a blight. I'll watch a hillbilly. I like watching hillbilly players, right? Those are tough. A real good hillbilly player, I'd rather watch that guy than a guy that can play blight. 100%, bro. Being serious.
Blake, I have the power though, which is great. What you noticed as well is that Meg was trying to,
And I say that because my favorite blight player is my Sinister. He's my favorite blight player. But I like the reason I would like my Sinister is because he talks about what his thinking pattern. If you're trying to play blight, watch that guy because he's going to talk about the angles he's taking and what he's doing. Really good person to watch if you want to learn blight.
Go after Jake, which is one of the key differences that we have compared to the last PTB, which is that the survivor no longer loses collision with unhook protections. So, key differences. We have removed the no collision from unhook protections, and we've decreased the killer aura reveal to 10 seconds. So it doesn't last the entire duration of the unhook protections.
Wait, I thought y'all said 30 seconds. It's only 10 seconds for the aura now? Is it 10 seconds or 30?
And you might ask why? Well, we saw in the previous PTB that survivors were weaponizing both of these effects to go for aggressive plays, as opposed to trying to survive, which is the intended goal of the unhook protections, is to put you in a spot where you can make better decisions to
32
survive.
meters is a big area.
What we saw was that killers who were actively trying to not tunnel were being punished by these things. Right, moving on. Killer bonus.
Oh man, let's see. I can't wait to see the great bonuses we're gonna get here.
So upon a unique hook, which is hooking a different survivor from the last. So I got hooked, and then Diego gets hooked.
Oh,
that's a unique bonus. Sorry.
I tried.
So the first one is that you will gain Bloodlust for 15 seconds.
Okay, so here's I want you guys to look at it from the M1 perspective. Is what they're going to offer us in this slide right here, is what they're going to is it going to offset the effects of just getting one out of the game, bro? Is it going to offset that? I need them to match the power of getting one out of the game with the bonuses. Okay, if the bonuses don't match the power of getting one out of the game, then what you offer me, I'm gonna take it as disrespect, bro. Okay, I'm gonna take it as offensively as possible. It better match or outweigh or even equal. I say equal. I'll give you the equal. I prefer an outweigh, but I'll take an equal to getting someone out of the game. Okay, here we go.
And the second is that you gain a stackable blood point multiplier on your mount.
Give me 10,000. Give me 15,000 blood points per hook, bro. And give me 20,000 blood points per hook, bro. Okay. Give me 20,000 blood points per hook, and I'll consider it, man. 20,000 blood points per unit hook, man. Okay, that shows in good faith that I'm looking for each survivor. I'll take 20K. Okay, now, but if we negotiate at the table, I'll go the bare minimum 15,000 blood points, bro, per hook. That's probably the lowest I can go. That's a low ball offer for me to not want to win the game and hook the survivor. Okay, 20K. You might lowball me if you send a supermodel to negotiate with me. You feel me? I'll be like, oh yeah, she's so pretty, right? And I'll probably take 15. Okay, but if it's you guys that's right there on the panel coming to negotiate, man, 20K, and I give you a swirly in the restroom, bro. Okay, I put you upside down in the toilet and flush it, bro. Okay, that's the deal. All right. If you don't send the model to me to negotiate, and it's one of you guys, I want 20K minimum and a swirly. And a rock bottom on the table, bro. Okay? Before I leave, bro. I got to get the rock bottom in. You can choose anyone on the dev team that wants to go through it, but I give someone the rock bottom, bro, on the damn table. Okay? So let's just see what they're gonna offer us, because I don't know yet. I don't remember this part.
Match score. And the last thing that we did different from the previous PTB is that we have buffed a series of score events.
They had the nerve. They had the nerve to put an exclamation point as if they were trying to make you excited about 750 BP, bro. This is the killer bonus, bro. Not even 1,000, bro. Not even at least 1,000 per hook, bro. 750, bro. That stuff you have to get 10-second call outs and we get 750 BP, son. And Ghostface gets to run around for 15 seconds with tier 1 blood. You can't make this up, bro. Wolf, don't forget pallet density, which just flipped the damn escape rates for Survivor to 60%. And now we're going to add this, sir. How do you like it? How do you like it, buddy? Can already just imagine one of the devs watching this stream, right? Yeah, how do you like that, buddy? Yeah, how do you like that?
Related to hooks. So now when you, for example, when you get a first hook on a Survivor, you get 750 blood points instead of, I think it was 200. It was very low.
It was very low, bro. What the hell do you think that is, bro? It was very low. What do you think that is? You think that's high? Are they kidding me, bro? Like, what am I watching? Man, this got to be fake. Bro, I'm living in a simulation, man. There's just no way. He had the audacity to say, and that was low. Imagine, man. Look, listen to me, guys. Listen. Check this out, man. Okay? Let me just propose to you guys. Let me just give you guys a proposition and tell me if, and I would go as far as to say you could remove anti-camp, anti-slug, anti-everything, bro. You could remove it all, gut it from the game, right? Take it all away. What if I propose to you? What if I propose to you that I'll remove all the stupidity that they're trying to put into the game, and I give you 25K per unique hook every match? 20K a hook. I'll just offer you 20K for unique hooks, bro. 20K. I'm going to remove all the systems from the game and give you 20K per hook, bro. Is that going to change your mind? Is 20K per hook going to change your mind? That's how easy it would be to solve. Well, Wolf, what about the economy? We're trying to save the game. We're not trying to be greedy and care about the economy, bro. We're trying to save lives here, bro. If I told you 20K per hook, bro, and if you mess up that chain, you get none of it. You get just regular match BP. But if you were to challenge the killer from the start, every match that you play, and you hook all the survivors differently, would that kill tunneling overnight, bro? Would that kill camping overnight? Would it kill everything overnight, bro? For that 20K per hook. That would be 80K on top of the match bonuses. And it stacks with cakes and all that, son. Imagine getting paid as a killer to play a certain way, bro. Like bribery. Like Chauncey Billups in the NBA, son. You feel me? Would you consider it? Would that be a good enough idea? Just one slap, bro, right there. Hey, look, you guys get 20K if you hook all 4 survivors and you don't rehook one. If you rehook one, you lose that bonus. Now you just get regular match XP, bro. In the back of your mind, it's like, bro, I could have had 100K. I could have had 100K this match already right off the bat. And I could have brought party streamers, bro, and cakes and 500K a match, man. You know what that would do for the new killers that need the BP because they're so far behind? I could fix this game overnight by just changing the values of blood points per hook, bro. 25K per hook, dice rollers. And we could take all the stuff out the game. And I guarantee you, we would all live in harmony, bro.
Maybe 500. I'm not sure. I should have put it anyway. I forgot.
But instead, we want to add more complex and stupid stuff in the game to confuse everybody. Well, I better not walk over there. They might get off the hook. Oh, I can't go over there. They know I'm there because they see my aura. Kaleidoscope with the $2 says, wouldn't work for me. I love the DMs.
So,
I mean, but you're like me, okay? But for everything that there is in this game, like what I'm trying to say is you'll never, no matter what they put in the game, let's say I want, like they could have all this in the game. I go on as Bubba and my main goal is to farm salt. I'm going to do it whether anyone escapes. As long as you farm salt from one of them, you're doing, but that's going to happen no matter what's in place. I'm offering a solution to slow it down tremendously, giving people an actual incentive not to do it. 25K blood points per hook, bro.
here's a video of the bonuses in action. I cut the previous part before that moment because I was.
And check this out, and to keep people from just wanting to play killer to do it, right? Because you'd be like, well, everybody's just going to want to play killer. You can only do it. What's the average time of someone? There should be a timer, bro. Okay, you have this much time to do it. You don't get no more after that, and then you can go play Survivor. I say like 2 hours. 2 hours of BP like that, bro. And then like after that, people tend to want to play Survivor if they're like streamers and stuff like that. So they'll do their 2 hours, they'll get off to go to Survivor.
For so long, and I was so embarrassed. So I just cut to the point where I downed her. So as you can see here, I hook her.
Got loot by a bot, bro?
I have the
For 2 minutes?
Bloodlust bonus, so I'm moving slightly faster.
Slightly.
The golden marker on the hook counter, which
Slightly
I don't know about
faster.
you, but when I play with, I'm a Survivor main, but when I play with Deja Vu,
Oh my
I
God,
have that
what did he
yellow bar.
just say, bro?
It feels really, I don't know about you, but when I play with, so I just cut to the point where the Bloodlust, I don't know about you, but when I play with, I'm a Survivor main, but when the marker right there feels just as good.
That's good UX.
I don't know about you, but when I play with, I'm a Survivor main, but and you can see the golden marker on the hook counter, which I don't know about you, but when I play with, I'm a Survivor main, but when I play with Deja Vu and I have that yellow bar, it feels really nice. So having that golden marker right there feels just as good.
Are you kidding me, bro? I'm not gonna tunnel because I like the way these golden markers look. Are you stupid, bro?
That's good UX.
Oh.
That's as a segue. Yeah, this is something we have been working together to be sure that it's also as understandable as possible when you're meeting this feature and it's enjoyable, even if you already know it by heart as a new engaged player. So every little effect that we work together.
You know what, man? I got nothing against this guy. This is my favorite guy right here, bro. Okay. You know why I like this guy? You know why I like this guy? Because this guy has nothing to do with the gameplay. He's more of the aesthetics. He's more of the effects and stuff, right? Right. He's the guy that implemented the scratch smart color changes to the game. This guy right here. Okay. I got nothing bad to say about this guy. But this guy, nah, we gotta have a talk, bro. We gotta have a talk. We gotta talk, bro.
That we used to have on the generator.
Nah, you need to put some gloves on, man. I'm gonna send you some boxing gloves, bro. Okay. I'm gonna send you some boxing gloves, and we're gonna meet up somewhere. We're gonna throw a couple rounds, man. Exhibition match.
It feels really good. And then I'm gonna replay it again. just because there was a portion that we missed.
What they said and they got rid of it. Look.
Just because.
No penalties for double hooking, but no bonuses or golden tick. They're talking to us like we're kids, bro. They're talking to us like we're children, bro. The survivors are getting treated respectfully and professionally, and when they talk to the killers, no golden tick on the screen for you if you double hook. I can't take it, man. I can't take with the sad face, bro. They're treating us like we're 5, bro. What's going on over here? Bro, what?
Because there was a portion that we missed. But one thing that's important to note is that our more advanced players will probably ask the reason why Bloodlust, like it resets or goes down when you're not in chase, or there are rules with Bloodlust because it is a mechanic that we have in the game where it builds up during chase and it you lose it if you break a pallet or if you hit a survivor, and there's all these things. So for this particular instance of Bloodlust, you will keep it until you use your power. So
Yeah, so if you decide to use your Pop Goes the Weasel, guess what? You lost your Bloodlust, and that was your only little bonus besides the 750 for hooking, having a unique hook, bro. Literally nothing for you, everything for Survivor.
Too bad for Blight, I guess.
He hates Blight.
Or if you enter a chase. And the reason why is because with internal testing, we found that if you had Bloodlust and you would just enter a chase, you could just continue building it up to tier 2 and tier 3, and that felt quite oppressive in certain scenarios. And of course, I will remind everyone, this is to test on the next BTB. So if you test it with the current iteration where it's...
To ensure fair chases, however, we're going to go ahead and mega buff a Survivor so you can't chase them. Yeah, nice call. Nice call.
Tier 1 Bloodlust, and you have feedback on that, please give that feedback. It's really, really crucial for us to develop this feature. And then the last bit over here is... Again, I chased Claudette for so long to try to hook her a second time, and I just skipped to the part where I downed her, and now I hooked Claudette for a second time in a row, so I didn't get the golden hook marker.
He's making it sound like that's bad, that you didn't get the golden ticks on the left side of your screen. So if you double hook, you don't get that. I hope you're happy about it, because you don't get it. We're not going to give you the golden tick.
So I didn't get the golden hook marker, and I didn't get any bonuses from that. So that means I do not get a multiplier from that specific hook, and I also do not get Bloodlust. And I think that's something really important to note, is the blood point multiplier is based on the total count of unique hooks that you have, and not the sequence or the streak that you have. So if you happen to get 3 unique hooks and then you kill a survivor off for whatever reason, you're not going to lose the initial multiplier that you accumulated so far.
Nah, man. In my rendition of what should happen is, if I'm going to give you 20K or 25K per hook, and you mess that up, bro, by hooking someone else, you lose it all. You lose it all. The golden bars go away and it's back to regular. Give me the golden ticks, all right, man? Listen to me, guy, with my guy right here, bro, that's meditating right now, praying on my downfall. I need 25K per unique hook, and I need the golden ticks. Not only do I need the golden ticks, man, as the golden ticks start to build up, I need my hook counter to catch on fire, and I need the sound effect to go. That means I successfully completed and got my blood points. Now I'm free to do what I want the rest of the game, okay? I've allowed enough time to pass by. Now I can kill who I want when I want, bro. On top of me giving one of you the rock bottom and a swirly, okay? You get what I'm saying, bro?
Which is, I think, really cool. So, I word vomited about a lot of stuff. I apologize. It's a lot of
You're doing
information, but
Like I said, people are locked in. You're doing fine.
I'm really glad because I'm like, before I was like, there's a lot of slides, there's a lot of stuff to
Yep.
talk about, and I was very worried. So the fact that
This is
people are
my
locked
dream
in,
come true, Jeff. You're making my
is
dreams
great.
come true right now.
Cool.
Yeah,
So-
you don't need to be worried, bro. The ratio is 1-4. You got more survivor mains agreeing with you than there are people disagreeing with you, man. You're all right. Trust me, you're all right, bro.
Key differences. Like I mentioned, we swapped the haste bonus for Bloodlust. We have removed the bonus generated damage on the next kick, and we removed the aura reveal, also dubbed base kit barbecue. And I want to really quickly touch upon each of these.
You would think that they'd leave the barbecue, base kit barbecue. Can we have at least something base kit, man? You just gave the survivors off the record Iron Will, damn near wall hacks, Kindred. You gave them everything, bro, and you removed barbecue, bro?
So the reason why we switched haste to Bloodlust is
'Cause you can stack
specifically
'em.
because haste doesn't have a limit to how it stacks with
Yeah,
powers.
okay.
So that means that if you, for example, played the Spirit and you got haste from a Unhook, that would stack with the haste that you got from your power, which basically makes a strong killer even stronger, and that's not usually what we like. We don't want to make the gap between weaker killers and stronger killers wider. We want to try to make it smaller. So using Bloodlust allows us to do that because, again, if you use your power, you will not get the full benefit. Unlike someone like Trapper, for example, not likely to use his traps for mobility, so he'll probably get the full benefit from this bonus.
No, he doesn't, because he decides he wants to put a trap after the unhook around the area. Guess what? He loses it all. What is he talking about, bro? Because it's Bloodlust. If the trapper decides to hook somebody and then drop a trap in the area, guess what? Guess what?
And then the next two it goes back to what I was saying, where a lot of players felt that it would hold their hands into how they played the game, and it felt very cookie cutter. Like there was one right way to play: is you would get a Unhook, you would go to a gen.
What did he just say? He tried to say it held the hands of killers?
Goes back to what I was saying, where a lot of players felt that it would hold their hands into how they played the game, and it felt very cookie cutter. Like
Nah, there's no hand holding on the survivor side. I mean the killer side, bro. What's he talking about, man? He's trying to make it a equal sides thing. Nah, bro. I'll pick your nose right there, bro. Come on, bro. What's he talking about? Holding the killer's hand. You don't get to say that.
there was one right way to play: is you would get a Unhook, you would go to a gen, you would kick that gen, then you would see the aura, and you would go to there, and you would just rinse and repeat this whole sequence.
Isn't that what y'all wanted? That's what y'all were. What's he talking about? This is a system, y'all. This is what y'all wanted killers to do. And then they did it. This makes absolutely no sense. They would see a gen, they'd kick it, they see an aura, they chase the survivor. Isn't that what y'all want? Isn't the whole idea so the killer would chase someone else, and then they did it, and then you realize, well, they were just doing it too much like that, and we didn't want that. So now we're going to go ahead and just force them not to have any information and then think about tunneling. But while they do that, we're going to go ahead and give survivors a buff to counter that. So, we're leaving the killers pretty much in limbo because there's really nothing we can do. But y'all can theorize about it. You feel me? We find it interesting.
And one of the things that, we came to realize after the last PTB is that goes against some of our core pillars. One of our core pillar is chaos.
It's pissing me off, bro.
And, not chaos in the sense that everything is all over the place, but things are unpredictable, right? The player has, and the second one is player agency. So the player has control in how they want to play the game.
No, we don't. You're taking that away. What are you talking about? I want to tunnel the weakling out. I should be able to do that, man. That's free player agency. That's me being able to play the game the way I want. Why are you sitting here lying to us, bro? Why are you lying? Why is he lying to my face right now, man? What's with the lies, bro? What's he talking about? You're taking it away. I go as far as to say Decisive Strike took it away. Now you want to add to it. What's he talking about?
The player has, and the second one is player agency. So the player has control in how they want to play the game and how they want to approach each different scenario.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We should have the free agency to approach each. My scenario is taking the weakling out because I can tell they're not good at looping, and the others are really good at generators.
That's really important, and the unpredictable chaos comes from those player decisions. And so if we put a feature in that removes that, then we are not true to our core pillars.
What the did he just say, bro? What the did he just say? Did he just counter everything he said before that with all these things coming to the game?
Important, and the unpredictable chaos comes from those player decisions. And so if we put a feature in that removes that, then we are not true to our core pillars.
Anti-camp, anti-tunnel, anti-slug, anti-3gen. That's putting in features to remove player agency. What the is this guy talking about, bro? He's talking it from a survivor side, bro. Is he not paying attention to what he's saying, bro? He's literally just countering everything he's been talking about.
Approach each different scenario. And I think that's really important. And the unpredictable chaos comes from those player decisions. And so if we put a feature in that removes that, then we are not true to our core pillars. And that's usually a no-go for things in game development. So.
He just said that? There's no way he just said that, bro. And you can just look at the disappointment on his face, realizing it's a damn lie. All this anti-stuff in the game already to cut down on player agency. What did he just tell me, bro? What did he just say? And what am I, bro, am I being trolled? Is this a troll? There's no way, bro, that he's just said what he said with all these damn features coming and all the damn features in the game already. There's no way he said, bro, let me hit my table real quick. There's no way, bro. He just said that. Can I run it back one more time? I just gotta know if this is a dream. Let me pinch myself. Yeah, that hurts. There's no way, bro.
Approach each different scenario. And I think that's really important. And the unpredictable chaos comes from those player decisions. And so if we put a feature in that removes that, then we are not true to our core pillars. And that's usually a no-go for things in game development. So. This is the last slide for tunneling specifically.
And now he's going to talk about the features.
The following perks and add-ons will be updated. So Furtive Chase, Babysitter, Borrowed Time, Breakdown, Off the Breakdown, and Wicked. And then for add-ons, Original Brain and Soma Family Photo are getting changes. And this hurts, because our more advanced players may be aware that these allow you to bypass the endurance that you get from being unhooked. And if a feature is supposed to help with surviving after being hooked, it doesn't make sense to keep these in the game. So again, these will be available to test on the BTB. So try them out. Give us some feedback on the changes. If you like them, don't like them.
They're gonna like them, bro. The survivors are gonna love it because you gave them colored scratch marks.
And Styptic,
they're gonna just take it.
They've been very notorious. They've been in the game for a while, and they've been very strong for a while. And so, given that there's a lot of stuff, helping out the survivors, I think that now is a good time to address those add-ons, specifically because they are very helpful in extending chases that would usually end earlier. So again, test out these changes and give us your feedback on them. It's very, very important.
Bro, the more I look at this palette, the more I'm getting mad, bro. Like, the palette's pissing me off just by itself, bro. As this guy yaps away about nothingness right now, I find myself staring at that palette right there, man. I find myself staring at the palette right there. And I think about the get in meat plant Hawkins, palette density updates. How I think about the video, the doctor video of that girl or whoever it was that looped that doctor for 5 gens, went running from palette to palette. That palette right there is pissing me off, bro. I don't like it.
Just to say, right? So when they're testing, when we're getting the feedback, it's not like a single switch where we're like, all right, this whole thing's going live. You know, there's a
Listen to
lot
this guy.
that you just went through.
Yes.
Any number of those things could be changed.
Yes.
You know? So
Yes. And
that's
I think what's important is that you know, if a feature needs more time, we should take that time.
yeah.
And this is a very good case for this because
How about if a feature just needs to be scrapped and you implement my idea, okay? How about that, bro? How about we listen to Daddy Wolf, listen to me, okay? Because I already know how to fix your game without all the craziness and chaos, bro. Okay? Listen to me, man, all right? It's time. Look, this guy, I think he wants to punch you already, bro. Just look at the way he's looking at you, bro. He's already tired of your BS, man. He already knows you've been lying, bro. Bro, how you, as a game designer, me, and having to listen to you talk about we're not going to put features in the game that are going to take away playerity, all while you have these features in the game that take away player, I should just slap you, buddy. Right? Look at the way he's looking at him, bro. You already tell this guy already knows he's lying, bro. This an authentic guy right here, bro. You could tell he's just there for the paycheck, bro.
it's a really
Look
big
at him.
feature.
Yep.
And
He won't
it has
even
a lot of
look at his
implications,
face,
so we gotta
bro.
Make sure it's right.
Now he's got a fake agree. He's got
lot
a
of
fake
importance
agree. Look
that,
at this.
Look,
Look.
you know, if a
This
feature
guy
needs
lying.
more
Guy's
time,
lying, bro.
we should
Flying
take
it.
that
Wow,
time.
bro.
And this is a very good case for
Faking
this because
it, bro.
it's a really big feature,
Yep.
and it has a lot of implications. So we got to make sure it's
Do
right.
the nod again. Yeah, do the
yeah.
nod. He's staying quiet because he knows it's all a bunch of BS. They're lying.
All right, what is slugging?
Oh, we're not even to slugging yet, bro. I don't think I can take any more of it, man. We wish there's still more. Can't wait to see what the bonuses are for not slugging.
As putting a survivor
How
in the
was
dying
that?
state and leaving them there. Now there is slugging, which is for pressure. So here we have that's Dwight, by the way, that's in the dying state, and the skull merchant is, you know, seeing that there's a Nia on the side, just maybe waiting for a flashlight save. Who knows? So she decides to chase the Nia.
Right.
So that's slugging for pressure. And then you have the more evil skull merchant. Here she has slugged 4 Dwights, and they're all in the dying state.
The twins are watching right now. Guys, I want you guys to know that Charlotte and Victor are watching right now, okay? All right, I need you guys to don't laugh at the twins' play style, man. This is what the twins do, bro. They slug you. That's what they do. That's the whole plan. That's the whole idea. So I need you to chill out. I need you to have some respect for one of the killers you created, man. Disrespect
so the first
them.
one is good. We like that. This is a good thing. The second one, not so much. So back with some data. Overall, killers across all MMR tend to slug for about 30 seconds. So that's time spent in the dying state for survivors. And overall, high MMR survivors spend less time in the dying state.
Holy crap. Almost like we don't need no features at all because that's not bad at all. Overall, spend less time in the dying state in 30 seconds. Not long at all, bro. We don't even need a feature. I say, my guess is they're going to say, you know what? Because these times are so low, we're going to just scrap it all, bro. Because we just realized, according to our data on the survivor, you see how on the survivor side, they have all these stats. But when it's killers, oh, that's interesting. But you guys can hypothesize and theorize over what's going on the killer side. But look, we're back to stats for survivors.
At 26 seconds, which means that higher MMR survivors will go for those pickups either faster or more efficiently, you know, by bringing perks or whatever.
Oh, you mean the help they already have for it in the game? You want to add more help? Look at the way this guy, bro. Just look at him. Bro, he just did a slow blink. This a killer main right here, bro. He's a killer main. Just look at the slow blink, bro. Like, he's just fed up with it, bro. Look at him.
So if we look
at him. He knows he's
the
lying.
comparison between January and now, we do see that survivors spend less time in the dying state. So this is
Look at his
35 seconds
face,
in
bro.
January, and then it went
wait,
down
they
to
already passed it,
34
bro?
seconds in June. We do about 30, by the way, that's in the dying state. And so is good. Either foul, if that would have, I don't know, goals for using for Survivor.
Hold on, guys.
Bleed out occurrence for.
Okay, so wait, hold up. There's only a 2%. It only happens in 2% of matches, bro. And it needs a feature? You mean a feature that you just said that we shouldn't be putting features to ruin player agency in the game because it's not ethical and game devs say no? You mean you're going to still bring in, even though there's only 2%, you're still going to bring a feature in there to counter a player agency, bro? Is that...
Survivors. And now this is really interesting as well, is the map with the highest time spent slugged is the game.
Because of the pallets.
I have tried to understand why or how.
Oh my God!
As I put this in the slide.
Back to theories and hypothesis when it's the killer, bro. Back to theories and hypothesis.
The map with the highest time spent slugged is the game. I have tried to understand why or how.
Use your stupid data! You have the data? You have all these numbers? But when it comes to the killer, I'm trying to understand why. I don't know what's going on. This goes back to how I tell you there's no way they know that it's 40% telling in their matches, bro. They're just saying that. They're just capping, bro. They're trying to create a smokescreen and to give you a reason as to why they're going to mess up the game for the new players. There's no way they don't know this, bro. Bro, there's no way. There's no way. Bro, this is a troll. There is no way he finds it interesting and doesn't understand why. With all these numbers and data that they're pulling to create these features, they don't understand when the killer does something, bro. Are you kidding me? Bro,
since I put this in the slide, and I am still not sure.
I gotta rewatch that, bro. For some reason, I'm attracted. I like the pain, bro.
I have tried to understand why or how since I put this in the slide, and I am still not sure. Is it the layout of the map that makes it?
It's the pallets, dog. It's the pallets, dog.
More difficult to find your teammates. I don't know, but it's the highest. And the lowest, which is contrary to what we had with the camping portion, is RCPD West Wing at.
There's not a lot of pallets, dog. Massive pallets and not so many pallets, bro. Lots of pallets and not so many pallets, bro.
28 seconds, which is also interesting because I'm pretty sure that one might be more confusing for survivors. I don't know.
Everybody's yelling pallets. They're just shouting the word pallets. That's.
I mean, I'm glad that they like
Thought you'd
pallets.
like to know that.
You know, that's cool.
Is he really doesn't get it? Wait.
For the slugging for survivors,
He really is disconnected. There's the proof. Bro, there's the proof. He's disconnected. This guy has no idea, bro. He's disconnected. He's just designing a game off. I don't know what he's doing, bro. I think this a spy right here, bro. He might be a spy from another country, man. We gotta check. We gotta get. There's no way he said that. There's no way he just discredited the pallet remark.
I don't know.
Everybody's yelling pallets.
Pallets for the game?
Yeah.
He's
just shouting the word
He's
pallets.
confused?
I mean, I'm glad that they like
Thought you'd like
pallets.
to know that.
You know, that's cool. So what are the goals for the
He just dismisses it. He dismisses it, bro.
slugging update? Obviously, our intention since the start was to target excessive slugging while retaining slugging for pressure.
Wait, what do you mean excessive slugging? It's only 2% of matches. 2%, bro. I have a higher chance of catching a side effect taking a Tylenol, bro, than slugging in a match like that.
So remember the skull merchant who was.
Maybe it's a
chasing
little
the,
less, but
you know,
still, it's the same.
That's good. That's slugging for pressure. And we did have some key learnings from the previous PTB. So the first one was that players found that crawling while recovering was too strong. So for a bit of context, in the previous PTB, survivors could recover, well, they recovered automatically while crawling, so you could move while recovering, which allowed you to reposition while also getting ready to be picked up, and it was very strong.
Okay.
And players were also faced with lose-lose scenarios because with the tunneling reduction feature and the penalties that were there, you couldn't get someone out because they were the last one that you hooked, but you also couldn't slug them because they could just pick themselves up.
The fact that y'all didn't know that or think of that before you actually let the PTB go live, it just speaks numbers, bro. It speaks volumes, bro.
So that's a bit of an oversight on our part, but now this time that is not the case. So again, test it out and give us your feedback.
I will say,
yes,
Jeff didn't do the pallet density stuff, so he's not going to speak to the pallet density stuff.
Oh yeah, no.
People are
sorry, not me, not yet.
When we get
Well, nah, bring the guy on that does the pallet stuff, bro. I want to talk to him, man. I'm gonna look at his face, man. I gotta see his facial features, bro. I gotta see the way he reacts. I gotta see the way he acts. You notice how this guy over here to the right just stays quiet because he knows, bro. Like, he's got to jump ship. He don't want to be associated with the guys that destroyed the game, minus my guy right here, bro. But these guys right here, doing their part in destroying the game.
Mandy back out here. She can give you an update.
So the next one is that the players felt the time to...
Oh, it's Mandy. Mandy who said, well, the guys that tunnel, they're artificially inflating their MMR.
to fill the resolve bar was too short. So on the previous PTB, if I remember correctly, it was 90 seconds, which is pretty short. But in the next PTB, it'll be 120 seconds.
120 seconds, kind of
for a bit of reference, the bleed out timer for Survivor is 240 seconds. So this will take half of your bleed out timer to fill, which is quite significant. However, it will fill 33% faster for each additional survivor in the dying state. So if a killer is indeed slugging a little bit more than for just pressure, well, they risk a slug or multiple slugs.
Pretty much rendering the twins obsolete. So if you're a twins main, bro, GG's, man. You're gonna need to jump ship while you can, man. Start learning a new killer because it's wraps for you.
And away. So
don't forget about Oni. Yeah, Oni too.
The bar is full. The survivor will be able to pick themselves up for the rest of the trial. However, they need to fill their recovery meter every single time. You can't just like pick yourself back up the moment you're down. And then the last part is the crawling speed of a survivor will increase over time while in the dying state, and it will go up to 1 meter, 1.05 meters per second. So here's a comparison of the normal time a resolve bar takes to fill. So when you're the only...
Yeah, I don't really care about the slugging part, man. It really doesn't bother me right now, the slugging. We already know that they're...
That was my rendition of Meg, by the way.
Oh, that was...
I mean, once they took out Knockout, like the whole slug game kind of thing, you can still do it with like Amanda's Letter, Pig, and all that. But for the most part, it's really not the optimal way no more as far as the way people spawn, the way the game flows. It's just not an optimal way no more.
There were reactions, Jeff. There were definitely reactions during that segment. Let's test them out.
Yes.
Yeah, no,
yes,
I don't care about the tests.
Just
what else we got, bro? Any killer that's ain't up is where you need to start learning ASAP, because if you try to stick with Skull Merchant, no. You'll win some, but at the high level, nah. You're going to get cooked. And you could play games where you have no problem in chase and you're still going to lose because there's just not enough game time. So I appreciate everybody that donated, everybody that stuck around to watch this chaos. And I'll see you guys on the next stream, bro. I'll probably stream tomorrow. Stay tuned. I'll try to record some gameplay later. And I'll check you guys out later, man. I appreciate y'all. Thank y'all. Peace.